Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Happy Women's Month. Welcome to Godher. My name is Sang, and it's a new day. It's a lot going on, right? But in the midst of it, I hope, like I always say, that you're taking care of yourself. My prayer is that you're staying centered, you're staying connected to God, you're staying connected to the essence of who you are and what you stand for. And always remember that there is no permanent condition. All seasons, every season is subject to change. And continue to believe that you are worthy of living the life that you desire. And today, I just wanted to come on here and basically share with you what I've learned in 2020, what 2020 has taught me. The first thing is that I've learned that I'm stronger than what I think. I've learned this year that my faith sustains me. And I've seen a lot of people unable to handle, unable to adjust, unable to embrace change. And I've learned through that to be grateful for where I am. The most important thing that I learned this year is that perspective is absolutely everything. Your perspective on every situation determines your outcome. How you choose to see the situation, how you choose to describe the situation determines the outcome. There's a lot that happened this year. Our business closed basically from the beginning of lockdown. And because I'm in the design industry and our business also relies heavily on tourism, you can imagine not having an income for like all these months. But through it all, because I chose to believe that everything works together for my good, I refused to complain. I refused to be grumpy. I'm not saying that I was happy-go-lucky every single day. Some days were very difficult. But I want you to understand that when I say I remained grateful, anytime that wave of negativity comes, I would look around me and I'd say, look, there's food to eat, there's shelter, there's warmth. My mind is in the right place. Like I'm sane. I have peace of mind, and I would be grateful, and it would just completely change everything because I chose to change my perspective. Anytime I feel that wave of negativity come, I would choose to sit and count my blessings. In the midst of not having an income, in the midst of everyone speaking so negatively and, not being grateful, I chose to continue to count my blessings. And I chose to look at the situation and say, I've gone through worse and I know that this too shall pass. And I kept encouraging myself, and I want you to know that your perspective on every situation changes things. You choose how you want to see the situation, and when you choose positively, the outcome will be positive. It's your choice how you choose to see the situation. I'm reminded of the four lepers that sat at the gate in the book of Chronicles. They said, why sit here till we die? They changed their perspective. They're lepers, they're at the gates of the city, they're unwanted, there's a war going on. And they're like, but why are we sitting here? And they chose to rise up and go in the midst of uncertainty and in the midst of danger. They chose to change their perspective. Like, look, sitting here is not going to help anything. And for me, changing my perspective and choosing what I see, choosing what I say, made a huge difference this year. That's one thing that I've learned, that my perspective is absolutely everything. The second thing that I learned about myself in 2020 is that excuses, they don't build anything. And I've learned to interrogate my excuses. Like when I make an excuse about something, sorry about that. There's a thing on I use my phone to record, so there was like a message. It's irritating. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I've learned to stop making excuses. Like, I can tell you now, like, I record my films, like my videos, I record them on my phone. I could have said, no, I'm not going to start a YouTube channel because I don't have a Canon camera. But that doesn't serve me, right? And it's delaying me. And it's just an excuse because it's not like I'm helpless. It's not like there's nothing that I can do. There is something that I can do. I can start from where I am. My daughter's been saying to me, Mama, when are you going to start your YouTube channel? Like, she's been saying that for so long, and I've been like, making excuses. And this year, I learned that excuses don't build anything. And anytime I come up with an excuse, I interrogate it and I ask myself, why am I making this excuse? Like I said in the previous video, one of the previous videos, that I began making excuses. Like, this season has been really, really challenging. And for me, I feel like it's been the coldest winter of my life. Like, I don't know if I've ever been this cold. It's not like, I'm 39. 39 winters down. I just feel like this one is the worst. Maybe I feel like that every year because I'm just not a winter person. I thrive, working in the early hours of the morning. But this season has been difficult. And I woke up one morning and I said, you know what? We've got to do something about this. Who is this woman? Who is this that keeps making excuses? Who is this that is not, all of a sudden able to push through the pain? And I began to interrogate these excuses. And, there's something about me. When I don't understand something, I look for information. And I started just making research, doing some research on why people make excuses, why people procrastinate, because I became a chief procrastinator. I'm normally the type of person that when the alarm goes off, I'm out of bed. But lately I'd find myself snoozing the alarm until it gives up on me, like 3-4 times. Me. And I was like, who is this? This is not who I am. I don't snooze the alarm. I don't. Sometimes, like, I would even get up before the alarm goes off. That's the kind of person I am. I thrive in the early hours of the morning. 3 o'clock, I'm up, I'm working. By the time the family gets up, 5, 6, things are in place. I'm already making lunches, that's me. But this season, I could not just explain why I was making so many excuses to live the life that I desire. And I listened to a podcast by Jessica Stainsbury about why we make excuses. And she says anytime you make an excuse, it's one of two things. You either do not want to do that thing, or it's not a priority. And I was like, wow. So I found myself, like, lately, anytime I want to make an excuse, I ask myself, is it that I don't want to do this thing, or do I not think it's a priority? And anytime I ask myself, like, is this not a priority? Listen, things just turn around. And I've also listened to Mel Robinson, I think, the 5-second rule. You should check it out. Like, in the beginning, it didn't work, ne? Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I still hit the snooze button. Like, if you've listened to the 5-second rule, they tell you, like, when you wanna make an excuse and you count down to like 1 from 5, you don't give your brain a chance to begin negotiating and to begin saying, no, but I'll do it later and this and this and that. And like I'm saying, that I began to interrogate why I'm making so many excuses, and I discovered that it was because of fear. You need to understand that sometimes when you make an excuse, it's because the task that is ahead of you is a very big deal. Like, it's one of those things that is a make or break, and it's one of those things that is potentially going to really change your life for the better. So because it's huge and it seems daunting, your mind just finds a way to like make an excuse because it's like, I don't want to mess it up, and I began to interrogate these excuses and these dialogues that I would have with myself. Like, it is really self-defeating to keep on making excuses. It's self-defeating to set the alarm for 3 o'clock and then not get up and not achieve the thing that I set out to do. It is self-defeating. And for me, what I realize is that later on, like down the line, I feel really horrible for not achieving the things that I set out to do. The reward and the payoff for me is when I'm able to be productive. And those are the two main things that I wanted to share with you today that I learned during in this 2020, during the lockdown, it's those two things: perspective, excuses. Those two things. And they changed my life. And I'm working on the excuses part. It's difficult. I wake up in the morning and do I go jogging? Do I not? Why is it not a priority? And why do I not want to do what I need to do to get my life better? That's what I came to share with you today. The two things that I learned in 2020. 2020 is not over. And I want you to know that you still have what it takes to make it. You can pivot, can make a U-turn, you can pause, take a breath, and keep going. The main thing is to keep going. Do not give up. Don't quit on yourself because you've got what it takes. Change your perspective about how you see the situation. Change your perspective and stop making excuses for why you are not living the life that you are meant to live. Stop making excuses for why you are not manifesting your gifts and your talents. Stop comparing yourself with others. The race is not for the swift. Run your own race at your own pace, but never stop and never quit. I hope that you remember that what you carry is not just for you, but it's for your generation and the generations after. Go after the life that you desire and manifest your gifts without shame. Do not let anyone, especially yourself, talk you out of not living an authentic life. My name is Godher-Its. It's a new day.